My loving audience take my love and subscribes my channel. And dive B&B stories. Have you ever wondered if a mother's intuition is actually a real superpower? I mean, can you really just sense a killer the moment they walk into your living room? Or is Katie Logan just projecting all her past heartbreaks onto her son's new girlfriend? This week on The Bold and the Beautiful from August 3rd to the 7th, we aren't just watching another soap opera storyline. We are watching the psychological walls of the Spencer family start to crumble. We're seeing a young woman with a very dark past try to crown herself the new queen of the Spencer Beach house. It's wild, right? So, let's sit down and really talk about what's happening in Los Angeles and Monaco this week. We have to start with the vibe in LA right now. It is heavy. Will Spencer and Electra Forrester have reached what everyone is calling a heartbreaking impasse? Think about that word for a second. An impasse. It's a total dead end. There's no way forward and no way back. This didn't just happen because of a simple fight. It's the result of months of secrets and betrayals. Will is feeling completely vulnerable. And you know what happens in daytime dramas when a man is vulnerable? It's like a dinner bell for opportunists. That is exactly where Melissa Miss Dillon comes in. She isn't just a rebound girl. She is making a calculated move on a massive chessboard. And finally, Katie Logan is starting to see the pieces moving. On Tuesday, August 4th, Dillon officially sets her sights on the entire Spencer family. She actually says she wants to be Will's forever girl. She doesn't care if she loses her job at Forrester or her friendship with Electra. Doesn't that feel a bit desperate to you? It's not the behavior of someone in love. It's the behavior of someone looking for a permanent home. Dillon says Will is just the beginning of her ambitions. That tells us everything we need to know, doesn't it? She wants the money, the name, and the protection that comes with being a Spencer. But why is she so desperate? Well, think about her internal state. She has a secret that would destroy most people. She was the one behind the wheel during that horrible accident in November 2025. She killed Luna Nozawa and her unborn child. And the most tragic part? That was Will's baby. Imagine living with that every day. Dillon isn't just looking for a boyfriend. She is looking for an alibi for her soul. She thinks if she can make Will love her, then maybe she isn't a killer anymore. She's reinventing herself in real time. It's like she's trying to squat in his emotional life, so he can never hold her accountable. Now, I have to give my honest opinion here. I think Dillon is the most terrifying kind of villain. Why? Because she actually believes her own lies. She has convinced herself that this is true love. But when you see her on that beach house sofa, it feels predatory. Wyatt even calls Will's behavior a pity party. And Dillon is the guest of honor. It's a trauma bond, plain and simple. Will has forgiven her, but Dillon is using that forgiveness as a weapon. Then we get to Wednesday, August 5th. This is the big one. The sentinel at the gate, Katie Logan, finally comes face to face with Dillon. They meet at the beach house, and the spoilers say it gets nasty. Katie is on high alert immediately. She doesn't just see a girl, she sees a threat. She feels maternal terror and a strange sense of déjà vu. Remember, Katie has dealt with women like Sheila Carter for decades. She knows how people use love to infiltrate a family. I totally agree with Katie's mama bear stance. Honestly, I think she's being too nice. If a woman who was involved in the death of your son's child is suddenly comforting him on his couch, you're allowed to be nasty. Katie is the only one who isn't blinded by Dillon's act. She sees that Dillon betraying Electra is a huge red flag. It shows a fundamental lack of loyalty. And in the Spencer world, loyalty is everything. Katie is operating from a place of protective hypervigilance. She recognizes Dillon as a predator before anyone else does. While this is going on, Wyatt Spencer uncovers a huge piece of the puzzle. He finds out about the Nancy alias. Dillon used a fake name weeks ago to stay overnight with Will. Why would she do that? Proves this wasn't an accident. It was a tactical operation. Dillon didn't want anyone to know who she really was because Melissa Dillon carries too much baggage. She wanted to be Nancy, the innocent girl. Wyatt probably feels pretty stupid right now. He prides himself on being the smart brother. But he was played by a girl using a name from an old detective novel. This discovery is the smoking gun Katie needs to start a real investigation. We have to talk about the beach house for a second. In this show, locations are like characters. That house is Will's sanctuary. It's where he goes to escape the dollar bill legacy. When Dylan curls up on that sofa and falls asleep, she's performing nesting behavior. She's telling the world she belongs there. But Katie sees it as a violation. It's like an invasive species finding a crack in the foundation. Katie's job is to be the family's immune system. She has to expel the pathogen before it takes root. Does that sound too harsh? Or do you think she's exactly right to be this aggressive? Then we have Monday's impasse between Will and Electra. It's a classic case of miscommunication. Neither of them actually wants to be done, but they're both too proud to give in. This creates an emotional vacuum, and Dylan is sucking all the air out of the room. Will is feeling unworthy. He's been told his whole life he's just like his father, Bill. He thinks he's destined to be a cheater and a liar. So he leans into the darkness Dylan represents because it's easier than trying to be the hero Electra wants. Dylan is his shadow side, and right now the shadows are winning. What about Bill Spencer? By Thursday, he's pushing Will to look for love somewhere else. The irony is incredible, isn't it? A man whose romantic history is a disaster is trying to give advice. But Bill sees his own predatory nature in Dylan, and it makes him uncomfortable. He isn't protecting Will. He's protecting himself from seeing his own reflection. And we know how Spencers work. When the father says go left, the son usually goes right. Bill's interference might actually push Will and Dylan closer together. Let's shift over to RJ Forrester. He's being a vulture of comfort for Electra. He's badmouthing Will just to get closer to her. Feels like a secondary betrayal. Electra is lonely and unprotected, and RJ is manipulating that to get a kiss. I honestly can't stand his nice guy routine. He's just as predatory as Dylan, but he uses kindness instead of aliases. He's stealing his cousin's girlfriend while she's down. That's low even for a Forrester. The Wednesday encounter between Katie and Dylan is described as intense. In soap world, that means insults that cut to the bone. Katie probably uses her status to belittle Dylan, and Dylan probably uses her youth and Will's affection to taunt Katie. Dylan tells Katie she should let Will make his own choices. That is such a bold move. She's disrespecting the family hierarchy. In Bold and the Beautiful, disrespecting the matriarch is usually the first step toward the exit. Dylan is cornered and she's trying to play the victim, hoping Will defend her. By Thursday and Friday, Katie starts asking pointed questions about Dylan's past. Questions that nobody is ready to answer. This tells us Dylan's secrets go deeper than we thought. Katie isn't just looking for bad manners. She's looking for something criminal. She's like a detective in a noir thriller, and Dylan is her prime suspect. I love this era for Katie. She's at her best when she's fighting for her family with a sharp mind and a sharper tongue. She's using logic to fight Will's emotions. Facts are indisputable. Feelings are fleeting. While the Spencers are falling apart in LA, the Forresters are heading into chaos in Monaco. Steffi is going for a reset, hoping to escape the Sheila trauma. But Sheila has booked a ticket on Finn's flight. Talk about desperation. Sheila and Dylan are actually very similar. They're both hunting for redemption by forcing their way into families that hate them. I honestly think they might end up as allies. If Katie unmasks Dylan, Dylan will have nowhere to go but into the arms of the only woman who understands what it's like to be an outcast. And what about Finn? He's getting advice from Lee, but he's already starting to soften toward Sheila. His loyalty is cracking. Steffi told him Sheila groveled on her knees, begging for a chance. Steffi wants Sheila gone forever, but Finn is buying what his birth mother is selling. This trip to Monaco is a massive test for their marriage. They plan to meet in front of a church, the same church where they reunited years ago. It's supposed to be a romantic reset, but with Sheila on the plane, it's turning into a horror story. There's a theory going around that Sheila might actually save Steffi's life in Monaco. Can you imagine that? The woman Steffi hates most becomes her hero. It's the cruelest twist the writers could give us. It would force Steffi to owe her survival to a monster. That is appointment viewing right there. Sheila is seeking redemption through crisis. She knows she can't talk her way back in, so she's waiting for a catastrophe she can solve. It's a dangerous psychological state called hero pathology. We also have to talk about Carter Walton and Daphne Rose. They're dealing with devastating fertility news. Early menopause. It's the exact opposite of what they wanted. This story is so important because it deals with legacy. While Dylan is trying to steal a legacy, Daphne is losing hers. It's a heartbreaking parallel. Carter is trying to be a stabilizer, but he's ignoring his own grief. He might end up confiding in Steffi before she leaves, and that shared vulnerability could be a threat to her marriage with Finn. Back in LA, Deacon Sharp is getting ready for a big move with Taylor Hayes. Is it a proposal? A diamond ring? He's feeling triumphant. He's won the world-renowned psychiatrist and lost the psychopath. But Taylor's warning about Finn shows she's not fully there. And you know Sheila isn't going to sit through a proposal quietly. This move is like pulling the pin on a grenade. Deacon is overcompensating for his past with Sheila by doubling down on Taylor. It's a recipe for disaster. To really understand why Katie is being such a mama bear, you have to look at her history. She has literally died and come back multiple times. She's had heart transplants. She knows how precious time is, and she won't waste it on someone like Dylan. She sees Will as the carrier of her heart. Literally. Protecting him is legacy protection. Plus, the Logan sisters have been having a lot of friction lately. Katie feels like she's lost her sisters, so she absolutely cannot lose her son. That makes her run-in with Dylan even more emotional. So here's my prediction for the end of the week. Katie is going to find something huge. Something that links Dylan to Will's past in a way we didn't see coming. This will turn their nasty encounter into a full-blown war. Electra will find out about Dylan and Will on that sofa, and she'll run straight into RJ's arms. This will break Will's heart and make him cling to Dylan even more. It's a perfect cycle of destruction. And in Monaco, that church meeting is going to change everything. My gut says Sheila stops something terrible from happening to Hayes, earning her a temporary stay of execution from the family. But can Sheila ever really be washed clean? Forgiven Sheila is boring. A Sheila who saves a life but is still hated? That's great TV. Steffi owing her life to her worst enemy is the ultimate mess. I want to know what you guys think. Is Katie being too mean to Dylan? Or is she right to sense the danger? Can you ever really forgive someone for the death of your child? Or is Will's relationship with Dylan just a form of self-harm? And what about Sheila in Monaco? Is she capable of real redemption? Or is this just another long con? August 3rd to 7th is the week where all the facades fall. Dylan's Nancy act is over. Will's forgiveness is being tested. Finn's loyalty is shaking. And Carter and Daphne are facing a very hard reality. It's the summer of detonation, and nobody is safe. Make sure you're watching on CBS or Paramount Plus because you don't want to miss a single second of this. If you love these deep dive analyses, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We are tracking every beach showdown and every Spencer secret as they happen. Join the community in the comments and let me know your wildest theories. Is Dylan actually related to someone we know? Is Sheila really going to be a hero? I read every single comment, and I want to hear your unhinged takes. Remember, in Los Angeles, an ex-girlfriend might not get a veto, but a mother always gets the last word. Katie Logan is on the warpath, and Dylan has no idea what's coming for her. This is going to be one of the most explosive weeks in B&B history. The tension is building, the secrets are spilling, and the French Riviera is about to get very, very messy. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one for more Monaco mayhem and Spencer scandals. Let's think about the psychology of the names for a minute. Why did Dylan choose Nancy? Sounds safe, right? Traditional. Suburban. It's a victim name. She didn't want to be a femme fatale. She wanted to be a girl that Wyatt and Will would feel sorry for. That shows a high level of premeditated manipulation. It's identity fluidity. People with certain personality traits do this all the time. They become whatever serves their current goal. Now that her personas are colliding, her stability is going to unravel. And Will. Poor Will. He's caught in the middle of all these powerful women. His mother, his ex, and his new flame. He's suffering from reactive attachment because of all the trauma he's been through. Clinging to the person who caused the trauma is a way to feel like he has control over it. But Dylan is using a savior complex to rescue him from the grief she caused. It's a classic cycle of control. Do you think Electra will ever see through RJ? Or is she just using him to numb the pain of losing Will? The double standards in LA are wild. Electra punched Dylan, but she couldn't forgive Will for something far less physical. It's a mess of emotions and ego. And with Eric's devastating verdict, Branding will just like his father. The kid doesn't stand a chance without his mother's help. That's why this week is so pivotal. It's not just about who's dating who. It's about the soul of the Spencer family. Will they let a predator in? Or will Katie's intuition save them all? And will the Shin marriage survive the turbulence of Monaco? The pieces are all on the board and the game is getting dangerous. Don't forget to follow us on social media for more updates. We've got 25,000 articles worth of soap history to draw from, and we're not stopping now. This summer is heating up, and we're here for every single twist and turn. Subscribe, like, and comment below. I want to know whose team you're on. Team Katie or Team Dylan? Team Steffi or Team Sheila? Let's get the debate started. Wait, did I mention the Nancy alias reveals that Dylan might have been planning this for weeks? Think about that. She didn't just happen to be there when Electra walked out. She was lurking. She was waiting for the right moment to strike. That makes her forever girl comment even more chilling. She's been targeting them from the start. And what about the turbulence Finn experiences? Is it just weather? Or is it a metaphor for his life? Every time he tries to fly towards Steffi, something pulls him back toward Sheila. It's like he's stuck in a permanent storm. Monaco is supposed to be the clear skies they need, but the clouds are following them across the ocean. I'm also really worried about Daphne. Muriel Hilaire is doing such a great job showing that quiet agony. It's a storyline that feels very real in a world of exaggerated drama. It grounds the show. And seeing Steffi offer Carter a shoulder to lean on before her flight shows the deep bonds these families have, even when they're at war. This week is going to be heavy on the mama bear energy. Katie isn't just asking questions. She's building a case. She's gathering evidence to present to Will. But will he listen? Or will he see her as the enemy of his happiness? That's the tragedy of parenthood. Sometimes the harder you pull, the faster they run away. So stay tuned. This week is going to be a game changer. From August 3rd to 7th, everything is on the line. Subscribe, like, and join the conversation. We're tracking it all and we want you to be a part of it. Tell me your hottest takes in the comments. Let's get unhinged together. I'm also keeping an eye on the Daphne Rose Walton bio. She's a mysterious beauty who made a very big splash. And now she's dealing with this devastating diagnosis. It's a great arc for a new character. It gives her so much depth and so much emotional weight. I'm rooting for her and Carter. They deserve some happiness after all they've been through. But this is B&B, so happiness is always temporary. The drama is always just around the corner. And this week, the corner is Dylan. She's the threat to the Spencers, the threat to Electra, and the threat to the status quo. Katie Logan is the only one standing in her way. It's the battle of the summer. Don't miss a single second. Subscribe, like, and comment. Join the community and let's dive deep into the bold and the beautiful world. We're tracking every nasty run-in and every Monaco mayhem update. See you in the next one, friends. LA and Monte Carlo, here we come. One last thought. What if Katie's investigation into Dylan's past leads her to someone else we know? Maybe Dylan is related to a former character? Someone like Amber Moore or Quinn Fuller. That would be a huge twist. It would link the current generation to the past in a major way. I'm already spiraling with theories. Anyway, I'm really going now. But seriously, subscribe. This week is going to be wild. Like, comment, share. Let's get the B&B talk going. LA, Monaco, the beach house, the church. It's all happening. See you soon for the recaps. Wait, did you hear that Sydney Bullock signed a contract for 2026? That means Dylan isn't going anywhere. She's going to be a permanent fixture in LA for a long time. That makes her pursuit of Will even more serious. She's not just a guest star. She's a legacy villain in the making. And Katie Logan is her first real opponent. This is the start of a multi-year war. I'm so excited to see how she evolves. From Nancy, the innocent guest, to the forever girl of the Spencer family. It's a classic soap opera transformation. And Sydney Bullock is playing it perfectly. You can see the ambition in her eyes, even when she's acting vulnerable. She's a predator in sheep's clothing. And the sheep is Will Spencer. But Katie Logan is a wolf in Logan sisters' clothing. She's not going to let this happen. She's going to fight for her son's soul. And she's going to use every trick in the book to win. It's going to be glorious. So make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss a single moment of this war. Like, comment, and join the BNB family. Let's make sense of this summer of detonation together. LA, Monaco, and everywhere in between, we're on it. See you in the next one for more mayhem and secrets. Okay, I'm really done now. I promise. But seriously, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And subscribe so you never miss an update. August 3rd to 7th is the week to watch. Don't let anyone meddle with your BNB time. See you soon.